Hello student, this is my part 2 video of important questions of NEET. So today we will start. The chapter is sexual reproduction in flowering plants. In last class we have discussed about 5 questions. Today we will also discuss and analyze another 5 questions. So we start from question number 6. So the question number 6 is seed formation without fertilization in flowering plants involves the process of first option is budding, second option is somatic hybridization, and third option is apomixis, and fourth option is sporulation. So seed formation without fertilization in flowering plants involves the process of budding, somatic hybridization, apomixis, sporulation. So it is important that the viable seed will be formed, but there is no fertilization. So normally when a seed not fertilized, then it will give the parthenocarpic fruits or seedless fruits. So to get the viable seeds, so the process must be, that is apomixis. So apomixis is the process which mimic the process of sexual reproduction. I have discussed this thing in my previous video of the sexual reproduction in angiosperms. So this apomixis is the correct option. Then question number 7. Proximal end of the filament of stamen is attached to the first option A is connective, second option B is placenta, third option C is thalamus or petal, and D option is anther. So here it is important that we have to orient which one is proximal end and which one is distal end in a stamen. So this is the stamen. So here the thalamus or the petals are there. So this end is called distal end So this filament attached to distal end by the connective, but this proximal end is always connected with the placenta or the petals. So in case of hibiscus also we do find epipetalous condition is found. So the correct answer is thalamus or petal. Then question number 8. The coconut water from tender coconut represents, I am writing very slow and analyzing also in slow process, because that the student can write down it, and in every day he has to practice 5 questions of the previous chapter, so that the students remain refreshed about the chapter. So here the option is A option, that is fleshy mesocarp. Then B option, that is free nuclear proembryo. C option, free nuclear endosperm. And D option is endocarp. So this is important here. You know that in coconut both the type of endosperm is found, the white kernel and the coconut water. So the kernel is the cellular endosperm, and this water is the free nuclear endosperm. So the question here given, so free nuclear endosperm is the correct option, but sometimes the student should not answer by partial reading the points, like your free nuclear proembryo. Without reading this word, the student may do the wrong response. So be careful at the time of answering the question, don't be hurried. So here what happens, so the coconut water from the tender coconut represent fleshy mesocarp, free nuclear proembryo, free nuclear endosperm and endocarp are the different options. So the correct option is free nuclear endosperm. And you know that what is endocarp, the hard covering, and the fibrous mesocarp is there, and the outermost is the epicarp. Then next question is question number 9. Cotyledon of maize grain, is called, first option is coleorhiza, second option is coleoptile, third option is scutellum, and fourth option is plumule. So in the previous classes we have discussed the cotyledon. Maize means a large cotyledon, single cotyledon. So we can, when we see the structure of the embryo, you know that here the coleoptile and plumule is there, here the coleorhiza and radicule is there, and this large portion is the scutellum. So the correct answer is scutellum. Then the question number 10, which is the last question of this second part. which of the following statement, which of the following statement is not correct, not correct. So this you should underline the not correct. Then A option, insect that consume pollen, insects that consume pollen or nectar without bringing about pollinations are called pollen nectar robbers. Pollen nectar robbers. B option, pollen germination and pollen tube. Pollen germination and pollen tube. Pollen tube growth are regulated. Growth are regulated by chemical components. Chemical components of pollen interacting with those of the pistil. Then third option is, some reptiles have also been reported as pollinators in some plant species. And D option is, pollen grains of many species. Pollen grains of many species can germinate on the stigma of a flower. But only one pollen tube of the species of the same species, we can write here, same species grows into the style. So here important thing is that which is not correct means the wrong statement. So we can analyze one by one. Insect that consume pollen and nectar without bringing about pollination. That means the insect has not done the work for the plant itself. So we can tell also robbers. So So this statement is correct one. Pollen germination and pollen tube growth regulated by chemical. You know that this is called chemotropic movement, directional movement. Calcium, boron, I have already discussed. Ionocetal plays a very vital role in the development of pollen tube inside the pistil. What is we call the chemotropic movement. Some reptiles have also been reported. This is also correct. Pollinator in some species. But this is the last one. Pollen grain of many species can germinate. It is written cannot germinate, but same species only germinate. What we call compactibility, or we can tell incompatible. Compactibility creates the problem, so we can tell incompatible. Compactible, so does not allow to grows on the, that is stigma. So this is all about this, the second part, and then in the third part we will also discuss another 5 questions. So these questions are for refreshment, I am telling again. So in your leisure time try to practice or just follow it.